Afternoon. Sorry about the small delay. I'll bring the February 24th County Commissioners meeting to order. Mr. Mizell, if you will lead us off in the invocation and the pledge, please.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. If you'd like to join for the invocation, please feel free to do so. We ask Providence to just grant us purpose and clarity as we begin this meeting. May wisdom guide our decisions, integrity shape our decisions, and respect govern our dialogue. Let us never forget that we serve our community and have been entrusted with the responsibility to lead with fairness and foresight. Amen.
Amen. Amen.
If you'll stand for the pledge, we'll face the flag over here.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Commissioner Mizell. That was good. Recognition of veterans, Mr. McClure.
Okay, yeah. Do we have any veterans present this evening? Let's give everybody a hand. Especially we see what's going on in this world. The veterans are what stands between us and them. And they've done that for a long time. And they've done it with authority. You got one of these, don't you, sir? Come up and I'll give you one.
The veterans pin.
Got two of them here.
Yeah, it's got
Come on.
we had two of them?
Yes,
I
sir.
didn't see them. I missed the one.
Yeah, come on. Thank you, sir. Appreciate you, brother.
There's a veteran on there. Something you wear.
Thank you.
What do you say, young man?
Appreciate you. Appreciate your service. Bless
There you go. Thank you, sir, service.
Amen. Thank you, buddy.
Thank you for my service, sir.
What's the passcode to get in here?
I ain't got a clue.
I hit it with my elbow. You know what it is?
All right.
Yes, sir.
What's the passcode to get in here?
I think it is capital B.
Numbers.
That's the login.
Well, whatever it is, I ain't got one.
You might better just work off the paper agenda there.
I hit it with my elbow.
All right. I don't know the password either. So, all right. Recognition, Lexington Chamber of Commerce, Jessica Snyder. Is Jessica here?
She may be watching online.
She's watching online. Okay, hope you are, Jessica. Thank you for representing Lexington Chamber of Commerce. Register for public address. We have a sign-up sheet right here. If you want to speak public address, come sign it up. We'll be offering public address after the adoption of the agenda. Okay, do I have a motion to adopt the agenda?
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
Second.
I'm sorry?
We got one coming off.
I don't see anything coming off.
They'll be done when the actual
No,
items
I don't see anything coming off this adoption. So we have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, public address.
Haven't anybody signed up, sir.
Nobody signed up. Okay.
One of these zoning things.
All right, public hearing. Planning staff on 7A. Planning staff is requesting that this item be continued to March 24th. So do we have a motion to continue this to March 24th? Second. All in favor?
Aye.
All right, that one's gone.
That's what I
All right, 7B, rezoning request by Group 21, 15.74 acres. Planning staff is requesting that this item be continued to March 24th. So do I have a meeting there? Motion. Motion, second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, so 7A, 7B. So now we'll introduce 7C. Mr. Crook, I guess you'll lead it off from here.
Be glad to, Mr. Chairman. Thank you. We have a request by Winston Salem Storage LLC to rezone properties located in Arcadia Township tax map 6A, lots 27A and 32 containing a combined acreage of 1.5 acres more or less. Said properties are located on the south side of Union Grove Road, approximately 180 feet east of the North NC Highway 150 intersection. The parcels are addressed as 3387 and 3363 Union Grove Road. Rezoning is requested to change from that of HC Highway Commercial District and RA3 Rural Agricultural District to that of RC Rural Commercial District. If the board would please divert your attention to the overhead. This is the famous Crowfoot there along 150 Mount Olivet Church Road. Stevens Restaurant is right there. To get everybody acclimated, Winston is obviously up this way, and this runs down towards Tyro and Welcome in that direction. The request tonight is in blue. Part of it is already zoned highway commercial. This section that I'm highlighting is already highway commercial, but then the applicant wants to take this little piece of RA3, which has a manufactured home on it, and include it and change both of them to RC, rural commercial. So it's a down zone for most of it, and it's up zone for the RA3. At this point in
Okay, all
time.
right, I'll declare the public hearing open. Representative want to come forward and explain this, rezoning?
Mr. Brian Lucas is here to represent the application, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, how you doing tonight?
Hey, good evening, everyone. Pleasure to be back up here. So this rezoning request is for an expansion of 50 units in the small rectangle square to the right. Once we purchase that unit, it will all be owned in one ownership, and the manufactured home that's on there will be gone.
So 50 units apartments, is that what we're building?
Mini stores, I'm sorry.
Mini stores,
Storage
okay,
unit. Yep, so
yeah.
the existing use of the L-shaped is storage.
All right, I got it.
And it's just an expansion.
Never read that before. All right, you got something?
Yeah, who owns that property now?
Right now, it's Winston Salem Storage. So my name's Brian Lucas. I'm with Denali Capital Partners. I'll be the general contractor.
You hope to purchase.
It's under contract currently by Winston Salem Storage.
Do you have a right to rule on a zoning request on property that you got no?
Yes, sir. Ryan Knifeon is the owner of record.
Yeah.
And he's in his absence tonight. He could not be here tonight, so he asked Mr. Lucas to stand in as his agent tonight.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay, any other questions? All right, thank you very much, Brian.
Thanks. Good to see everybody again.
Good to see you. All right, anybody wishing to speak in favor or in opposition of this zoning? All right, last chance. Anybody wishing to speak in favor or opposition? All right, I'm gonna close the public hearing. Any questions by the board here?
No, sir.
All right, staff recommendation, please.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The same owner of Winston-Salem Storage LLC owns this property right here. There's already compartmentalized storage right here. He's got some offices on the property as well. He wishes to construct more of the same on this property if successful. It is contiguous to HC here. You got Crowfoot Golf, you got the old Quick Check station there, and Stevens Restaurant, all of which are highway commercial. If this is successful tonight, there'll still be an RS residential property here and here, protecting this RS corridor going up and down Mount Olivet Church Road. Staff would like to point out that policy statements 1113, 1517, 18, 116, 55, 56, 57, 59, 73, and 74 all support the applicant's request to rezone, and it does comply with Article 7 amendments due to change or changing conditions in the north end of the county. These are very sought-after units. With the housing demand that we have, people need places. Nobody builds a basement anymore. These are modern-day basements.
Okay, I'll ask the board for a motion to either approve or deny.
I make a motion, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Make a motion to approve the rezoning request and adopt the statement of consistency.
All right, we have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? That motion carries. Good luck. Yep. All right, 7D, the rezoning request by Joe Strickland in Cotton Grove Township containing 2.99 acres plus or minus.
Thank you, sir. We do have a request by Joe Strickland to rezone property located in Healing Springs Township, tax map 10C, block 1, lots 640 and 645, and portions of lots 621, 627, and 628, containing in total 2.99 acres more or less. Property is further described as being located on the north corner of the intersection of NC Highway 8 and Oakwood Boulevard. Rezoning is requested to change from that of RA2 Rural Agricultural District to that of RC Rural Commercial District. And again, if you'd please divert your attention to the overhead. Oakwood Boulevard is right here. This is Oakwood Acres proper. The boat dock is right here. This is NC Highway 8. Just off the map is the curve that goes across the Abbott's Creek arm of High Rock Lake. To get you acclimated, that would be right here. There's a good portion of this property that's already zoned rural commercial. All of this down here next to NC Highway 8, it's about 100 foot deep, and a portion leading into Oakwood Boulevard are already zoned RC. The applicant has recently closed a right-of-way, an improved right-of-way right here, and has purchased more property, and that's the portion that they are trying to turn from RA2 to RC tonight. At this time, Mr. Chairman,
Okay, I'll declare the public hearing open, so Representative, please,
Mr. Joe Strickland is here to represent the application.
okay, how you doing tonight, Mr. Strickland?
Good evening, guys. Thank you. Joe Strickland, 2950 Mount Hope Church Road, Salisbury, North Carolina. Mr. Crook done a good job explaining our situation here. You know, we've got split zoning, and we've been trying to clean it up for, the last year or so. We've got rural commercial along Oakwood there and a portion of NC8, and everything we close beyond the road, we want to incorporate it as rural commercial as well. With us, I think the depth of it's like 100 foot deep, so it's kind of restricting us from what we can do with the property. We looked at some other options, but we were told by planning that, even our septic system had to be in the area where we were improving, so it couldn't be split zoned. So that's what we're here tonight for, to try to clean this up.
What are you planning on putting there?
We don't really know yet. We've subdivided an acre off to the east there that we were looking to putting a modular unit on. And that's kind of why we made the decision here, because we couldn't put the modular unit because our septic system was going to be on the back side of it. So, we marketed the property last year to see if we'd get any interest in it, and we didn't get any, feasibility back out of it. So, I think once we get it cleaned up, the zoning part of it cleaned up, we'll be able to do something with it for sure.
Now, where's this property at exactly? I'm not so sure I know.
Let me back out again.
That map's a little far out for me to...
It's really closer to Healing Springs.
This is NC Highway 8. Southmont's right on this vicinity map. Southmont's just off the map. If you come down NC Highway 8 and cross the Abbott's Creek arm of the lake, you go around the curve. It's not the first road, not the second road, but the third road. Mm-hmm. It's really the main entrance into Oakwood Acres on your left. So it's on the corner of NC Highway 8 and Oakwood Acres.
That's a long ways from Healing Springs. So now, is it in Healing Springs?
Well, Healing Springs is across the mountain, so it's kind of halfway in between, I would say.
I know where Oakwood Acres is at. So is it right where you turn off to go to Oakwood Acres?
Yes, sir.
Has somebody been in there clearing some land or something?
We cleared an acre in there, yes, sir. Well, not quite an acre, about 3/4 of an acre on the property. The property, that's furthest to the east of it.
Mm-hmm. So that along the road, I guess that property used to belong to Danny Nicholson in there somewhere? Years ago?
Maybe.
Wall properties are
across the street.
Yeah. Clear Lake is right down here, the Sterling Wall property. This is actually Clear Lake right here. The railroad line runs right through here. So, I know that, trying to remember if Mr. Nicholson owned property. I know the Sterling Wall does have a lot of property right in this area.
Now, the Nicholson name didn't come up in the chain of title.
Okay. Where's the road going into Oakwood Acres?
Right here.
Okay, and that's the property there in the blue, right?
All of this property, including this track as well. This track's already RC, so it was not included.
That's the third road, right?
Third road, yes,
First road.
It's the third road.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go into a little bit of detail here. I was doing some work on that lot about 20 years ago.
This
There's
one,
there's a fiber optic line that runs
And
down
it
that
got
side road.
foreclosed on right after y'all probably cleared it. Yeah.
Mhm. And
Yeah,
I was in an office here in Lexington, and the telephones and all was out. I said, my crew probably hit some kind of line.
Oh,
Just making a joke, and we did. There's $100,000 to put
Oh,
that.
my Lord.
So be careful out there when you're playing around.
Well, there was a, we bought it from a lady out of, close to the coast, and she bought it through foreclosure. She loaned some money on, I think they were gonna build a convenience store there or something years ago.
I remember something.
In
I mean,
2007,
They just had
2008.
me cleaning it up,
Yeah.
but the fiber optic's about 6 inches underneath the ground there, that
Yeah.
culvert. I remember that very well, 'cause
I imagine you did.
$100,000 my insurance company wasn't very happy with, and I wasn't either, so just beware. I'm sure I would guess it's still there. But anyhow, is any other questions for this gentleman here?
No, sir.
So the front part of that's rural commercial, right behind it's RA, rural commercial up the side. So we're just actually, doing that piece behind it. Okay, let me see if there's anybody in opposition or in favor. All right, anybody in opposition or in favor of this, come forward, please, and you need to state your name if you don't mind, and tell us where you live and all that good stuff. How are you tonight?
I'm good. How you doing?
Good, yes.
My property actually butts up to that property right there. If you go right to the top of that,
Where the 270 is, or
where
what?
they did away with the, road right there,
Sir, can you state your name?
Gary Wheeler.
I'm sorry, the last name?
Wheeler.
Thank you.
And, there's actually a natural creek that runs through that right there and runs right up to the lake. It's a natural runoff. What's gonna happen with that?
He would have to figure that out with his engineers. I mean, that again, to us, don't really mean anything in the zoning. He's gotta go through the proper erosion deaner people, and
Yeah, that was really the only thing I was worried about was turning
that's
all
probably
that.
the same creek that I hit the fiber optic line in
It
underneath.
probably is.
'Cause there's a pipe goes across number 8, a pretty good size
Yeah.
pipe, and that's the one I hit. So it's probably draining back toward the lake. I don't remember. That's been a long time ago.
if they disturb over a contiguous acre, they have to file an erosion control plan with the DEQ out of Winston and
Yeah.
put in appropriate measures to keep all the soil on their property.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, 'cause I've seen as much of a foot of water running through that creek
Yes, sir.
right
Yeah,
there.
he'll either have to pipe it off or whatever the restrictions are. I mean, somebody will tell him what he can and can't do, but that's not us. We really just look at the zoning part.
Okay.
Thank you, though.
All
I
right.
appreciate it. Okay, now where was your property at? I never did get a feel for,
Mine is 142.
can you show us where his property's at?
Is that you right there, Mr. Wheeler?
Yeah, all of those lots right there down the hill.
All the way down to his is yours? Yeah, okay. All right.
You come in off of Hickory Road, correct, Mr. Wheeler?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Yep, okay, all right. Anybody else wishing to speak in favor or in opposition? Hear none, I'm gonna close the public hearing. Is there any other questions by the board members? Staff recommendations, sir?
Yes, sir. If you'll once again divert your attention, in 1952, when Oakwood Acres was platted, this says zone for business, so there was an intent here, even back in the 50s, to put something non-residential on this corner. Then in 1991, I apologize, this light blue, it didn't come across on the scan. This light blue was done in 1991 and switched all of what you see today to RC. This was closed, and what's in yellow is the request tonight to go from RA2 to RC. Staff is going to support the request because the existing RC district that's there now is barely 100 feet deep. Mr. Strickland did allude to everything that's associated with one of the businesses, potential businesses that go on this site are supposed to be appropriately zoned, i.e. the driveway or the septic system or anything like that. So all that needs to be contained in the proper district. It is contiguous to an existing RC district, which makes the request compliant with Section 7 amendments, and staff would like to submit that policy statements 11, 13, 15, 17, 18, 116 5.2, 5.6, 5.7, and 7.4 of the county's land development plan all support the request, and we'd ask you to approve and adopt a statement of consistency.
Quick question, Mr. Chairman.
Yes, sir.
If I'm looking at it right, if I heard you right, Mr. Wheeler's property is all RC.
No, sir, Mr. Wheeler's property is,
I thought that line, I thought that's what he pointed to, was the line.
Mr. Wheeler's property is up here, all of this, and this is all RA2.
Okay.
Yeah, as is everything here is RA2. The RC's out here on Highway 8.
I misunderstood him. I thought he said that properties that came down to the top of that.
If this is
line was
successful, his property will adjoin RC zoning if this is successful tonight.
Okay, I had the wrong side of the road.
No problem.
Okay, any other questions? Hearing none, can I get a motion to approve or deny this rezoning request?
Motion to approve.
Have a motion?
Second.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
All right, moving on to, the consent agenda. Does anybody want to remove anything off the consent agenda to discuss?
Seeing no changes, Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make a motion we approve the consent agenda as read.
Motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, with that being said, we have two folks here that I guess wants to come up. Ron, is Ron here? Nope.
And I thought he was gonna be here, but he's not.
Okay, how
I
about,
don't see anyone here from the ARC, or from the workshop, but I do see folks from the ARC.
okay, so does the ARC, and does somebody from the ARC want to say anything? We just passed a proclamation. Hey, how are you?
I'm Jonathan Owens.
Glad to have you here, Jonathan.
My name is Samantha.
Samantha, how are you tonight?
Fine, how are you?
Good. Glad to have you here.
Good evening, everybody. I'm Teresa Shaw.
Teresa.
Ms. Shaw.
Yep. Glad to have you here.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
And I'm Tracy Hatcher. I work for the ARC of Davidson County, and these fine folks enjoy services that we provide. And we want to thank you all for what you do for us each and every day, and all the support that you give us.
Thank you, Tracy. Thank you for what you do, okay?
You guys want pictures?
Yes.
All right. Let me,
You go get it. No, I was forgetting something.
I think we got time,
Okay,
for that.
then.
We'll do it right here.
Tracy-
Y'all wanna come this way?
Tracy, y'all wanna come up here? Stand in front of the dais.
Let me go up here and y'all get together now.
I would like to take you all together for that.
Come on this way. We'll take a picture. Good to see you. Let's get right here.
Good to see you. Good to see you. It's been a while.
Ready?
Yes, ma'am.
Who wants to get you?
Yeah.
There's the camera right there. Can y'all get behind us here?
All right.
Are we over where we need to be?
I think we're
They need to move over. You need the board to move over?
Yeah.
This one?
Shift.
There we go. Okay. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And one more. 1, 2, 3. All right.
Jason, you done graduated, Jason. Debbie's done handed
No,
that
my phone's been sitting on my desk.
Good job.
I'm sitting here looking for it. I'm mobilized this afternoon.
That over to you.
Thanks.
Debbie, check your picture, got an intern, Jeff. He's never taken one before. No.
That's probably the best one I've done in a while, right there.
That's
you know?
awesome, man. Yeah, that's pretty good.
All right. Yep. We'll move on to, item number 9. Mr. Smith, if you want to lead this off, DSS.
I can. Ms. Baker's back in the back, but I hope this is a classic item that'll sell itself. We may not even need Trish, so Tim's done a good job of putting you some numbers in here. What you've got before you is a request for 6 positions. I know it's mid-year for foster care. Remember, we had some issues in foster care with staffing back several months ago. You guys done the pay adjustments, and you also implemented the headhunter. Something's working, because the first set of numbers there you see is our what we're intaking into that area, and you can see it's gone up 42% in just the ending of last year and the beginning of this year. That's translating into 91% more, kind of intake per month. Look at the state standards per worker, it's 15. We're at probably higher than 17 because we've got folks in training, so our numbers are probably in the 20s if you counted them as not being able to handle cases right now. The 6 positions we're seeking would get us back below the 15 to 14, which is probably more manageable and is going to alleviate pressure for the future. So to say all that, to say, yes, it costs $95,000, but you can see the vacancies in the department or in this little area have gone down to 3. And remember, we started at 14. So whatever has been going on in the last few months has worked in this area. Now, we've still got more challenges in CPS that we're continuing to use the headhunters and things for that nature as well. Still got a few, the food stamp folks in the public assistance side that we need to work on as well, and that'll lower the 42 in the entire department. But they're making progress, is my point.
Trish, would you like to add anything to that?
Well, I think Casey's covered it, but the headhunters are working. I think we shared with the DSS board today, we have 10 pending job offers, and we have 4 more that we're working on, so a total of 14, which would bring our numbers down. But in this area, we've really grown as far as the number of kids in care, which is why we need this for our, we put the county at liability if we don't have a staffing ratio that's appropriate to meet the needs of the kids.
Do you think if we approve these, you stand a good chance of hiring for these positions?
With the recruiter, I felt like the reason I talked to Casey about this, doing it now, I feel like we have momentum for the, with the recruiter, that we've got some momentum going, and we should be able to continue that. We're starting to get some folks with experience, and that helps reduce training time and get them actually working a caseload.
All right. Any questions for Tricia?
I have a question.
Cool.
Okay.
It seems like the deal when we're looking out for help, we go from one county to another. We're trying to take their employees away from them. Don't we have other options that would make more attractive employees than instead of the ones who want to skip around because of the almighty dollar?
Well, so when you're talking about staff training, the only way we're going to get staff that are trained is to steal them from other counties, because...
I disagree with you. And I think that's why you're in the hole you're in. I'll just be honest with you, Trish. You do a great job.
Yeah.
I'm not putting you down at all, but if you look, every county's doing what you're doing, and they're all having problems with personnel. I think it's time we start looking at other avenues for filling these positions. It may take longer to train them, but at least you'll keep them. They won't be running off to the next county over the first time, or the other county, they find out the other county's paying more money.
So, well, when you asked me about trained staff, and when I'm talking about trained staff, I have to talk about staff from other counties. Now, we're getting folks with degrees who don't have any training, and they do have to go through the state pre-service, and then that does take longer. It takes 10 weeks before they can even touch a case. And so we are hiring those folks as well. But we do need a mix of folks who can come right in and take cases and do some of the work, because that's why we're also in the bind. But I'll share, I just lost 2 people last week, and they were brand spanking new. They had no prior training. The work is hard.
Where did you lose them to?
don't know.
They just quit, they
They
ghosted.
just,
Other
yeah.
counties?
No, they just
I
ghosted.
don't know where they went to.
But that's
Um,
training, see, they were in training, and we've started this since Trish took over, I say we, but me and Karen's been a part of that too. We actually have a training facility now, we are trying to train some, but, you know, unfortunately, you don't know if they wanna do this till they either 2 days into training, or 2 months into training, or
So the
hopefully
work
they'll
is
let us
really
know.
hard.
New people, not
New
transfer.
people, right.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
new people.
So we have a mix, and it's hard to say that this person is gonna, we had really high hopes for one of the candidates. We really thought she'd be, gangbusters, and I even advocated for additional money for her with HR, and she still left us. So unfortunately, it's a mixed bag these days with employment, but you're right, if we can grow them and teach them the right way, it is better. I'm not gonna argue with that,
Yeah.
but we also need people that we bring in from other counties, and hopefully they'll stay because we treat them good. I mean, that's what we are hoping, that we paid you well, we treat you well, and that you'll stay. So
Well,
that's
you're
my
also
goal.
handcuffed by restrictions put on you by the state.
Yes.
State and
Which
federal,
takes
state and
forever to
federal
get
government.
somebody trained, and that's things that our legislators need to be looking at.
Yeah.
It's got to the point of being totally ridiculous, and I'm not talking Davidson County, I'm talking about all the counties are having the same problem. And at some point, you gotta say, hey, what we've been doing don't work.
Right.
It don't work.
I'm not gonna argue with you
Yeah.
there, I agree.
But we do,
Not being critical of you.
but we do.
I
how many-
appreciate it.
The old Daymark building, we've got a training center there that we started about, 2 years ago maybe? And, we're trying, but just like these 2 employees that come, I don't think, they didn't last a week, did they?
They last a little longer than that.
2 weeks,
Yeah.
2 or 3 weeks, I mean,
But,
you know, again, I think,
unfortunately, we thought there was some high hope for them, but it didn't work out. And not because we exited them, they exited themselves.
and again, like Trish said, this is tough work. When you're going out there and what they gotta do with these families and what they gotta see and the children, and this is all very tough work, and a lot of them just walk out because they realize they're not cut out for it, you know, so.
Hey Casey, are we experiencing this problem in any other departments?
Probably this game of stealing labor, as Mr. Shell's talked about,
It's
is going on in a lot of
countywide.
places. I mean, you know, we've been through it with these paramedics. We've had this conversation with paramedics before. I think we do it with law enforcement. We do it with all kinds of areas. We had the episode with, on-site wastewater. You guys remember that, I mean, with us in Rowan County. So it's not uncommon, but
And I know back in the day, the conversation, switched because the lifetime insurance deal was so expensive. I mean, it was just astronomical. But, the reason the older heads approved that type of deal, even though it was expensive, was to keep somebody here for the 30 years, to give them such a benefit that it made them stay here, and they were loyal. Even though there might have not been the 2% raises every year, they wanted to stay for that full retirement to get that big benefit at the end that went along with their pension. Maybe it's time to look outside of the box again and to see if we could do something like that for our staff members to keep them here.
But guess what, if you done that, the next county would do it, and then the next county, and then the next county, and you're back in the same boat.
Well, right now, we're raising salary, and the next county's raising salary, and
That's
the
what I'm
next
saying.
county, so.
Really, what this needs to be addressed on is the association part, and go, look, guys, we gotta stop this, you know?
Yeah.
The County Commissioners Association, we gotta stop this inside the counties, quit trying to take people from each county. 'Cause
And
What you got the dog chasing his tail. Well, you stop and think about it, that's where you can't never play catch up.
Well, you think about this, okay?
But
It's a reciprocal problem, because we've done such a good job in bringing high-paying jobs to Davidson County, that now we're in direct competition with the private sector, because do you think we can pay our folks minimal? We can pay our folks a reasonable price and then have Chewy or somebody like Edgar come in, or somebody like these high-paying companies that we bring in, and now they're like, no, I'm gonna go over there and work. So,
But I looked at some salaries today, and Chewy's don't pay what we pay, okay?
they don't?
No.
Chewy's not very.
yeah,
No,
Chewy's.
they-
Well, that's just
Chewy's
one.
might not be the best.
They-
Well,
No.
look at Edgar.
Yeah, but Edgar,
You
you
know,
know, and Nucor and things like that.
Nucor, that's
And I
right.
looked at some things today, and Edgar probably ain't paying what we paying for for what we're paying some folks, and I won't get into that, but they'd have to struggle to meet that, because again, if they work for Egger, they gotta pay some of their health insurance where we pay it all,
Gotcha.
you know, so.
I
And
just-
again, Nucor,
Yeah.
but Nucor, I mean, that's
That, they're not
that's
gonna
a,
have a certain amount of people working
that's a-
there. I keep telling that people, Nucor's not gonna have 5,000 people working over there.
Right.
It's gonna be a lucky, what, 150 people?
they got
that's gonna get
150,
it.
yeah.
Like the program for
So-
what, 200?
If that, it may have shrunk down to 150 or 180 or something.
And,
like that.
and most of them are blue-collar workers, you know, I mean, most of them are.
You do see the concept of what I'm talking about, though.
I
We
do.
are doing a fantastic job bringing in high-paying jobs in the county, but those high-paying jobs don't just, they're not there just for the unemployed citizens of Davidson County. Our employees can look at that and be like, wow, that's a better opportunity with better benefits, with better pay. So we're in direct competition with that, and we have to compete. So.
Well, every business owner's in
Amen.
competition, you
That's
know,
why
so.
it's a struggle.
But anyhow, this is, now what Trish is here about tonight, she's here about these positions. Did you have something, Matt, or you wanna move on?
You know, I think it would probably derail the conversation,
Okay.
so I'll save it.
Okay, yeah, that's probably something for another meeting. She's here for some employees, so, all right. Do I have a motion in favor or in opposition of,
I'd like to make a motion to approve this request from DSS.
all right?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Thank you.
Trish surely knows we've worked very hard, haven't we? Yeah. Yeah, we've worked. Yep. Thank you. We try everything, so there you go.
Motion going closed session?
Yep, second. Favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Who made the second? Somebody speak up.
Forgot.
Commissioner
I
Taylor
did.
and Commissioner Shell.
Okay, you got it? All right, can you give us a report, please?
Yes, we had closed session and the board heard about 3, pending, legal actions and, we're asked to give guidance on the board's direction on those 3 outstanding legal, items and, the board provided guidance to staff and, that was it.
All right, thank you very much.
Motion
Motion to
adjourned,
adjourn,
Mr.
second. All in favor?
Aye.